So hey guys, welcome back to the lecture 5th of our Django series. In the previous video, we learned about the tuples and the lists. We understood the basic difference between them and what are the properties, how we can add elements or how can we remove elements and many things like that. In today's video, we will be learning about dictionaries and later on we will be moving on to the functions. We will be understanding that what is the major difference between dictionaries, why it's mostly preferred among other users, and what are functions, how can we define a functions and the things which you can perform using a functions. Okay. So coming to the dictionaries, let us understand what exactly the dictionaries are. So dictionaries are used to store data in key and value pairs. Okay. And in dictionaries, a collection is ordered and is changeable, but it does not allow the elements to be duplicated. As of the recent version, that is Python 3.7, our dictionaries are ordered. Before 3.6 or earlier versions, Python was unordered, right? Now let's just do one thing. Let's start and write our first and the very first dictionaries. Okay, we'll write dictionary and then now let me tell you one thing that dictionaries are written under curly brackets and it has keys and values. Right, for example, I suppose writes my dic, that means my dictionary, and inside that suppose I stores many of the values. Like I want that firstly it should have brand name. Okay. Suppose I wrote a brand name and I'll say like my brand name is, suppose I wrote a brand name called Ford, then inside that I'll write a model and the model name is Mustang, right? Now we can write anything like suppose in my case I wrote a year and year was 1964, right? So here we have created a basic dictionary. So now let's just do one thing. We'll print it and see what basically it's giving us the output. So yeah, you can see that it's giving us the output like it's telling us the keys, that is brand, model, and the year. Then it's telling the values which each particular key has. That is the Ford, Mustang, and 1964. Right. Then here comes dictionary items. What we can basically do here is instead of writing this as output, if we want any particular item to be output, we can just write it like print. Then inside print, I'll write my dictionary. Inside my dictionary, I'll use a square bracket and I'll write the keys. That is, suppose I want to know the model. That which particular model are we talking about? Right. Now let's just run the code. You can see here it has printed the value that is Mustang, which clearly shows that right now we are talking about the model name called Mustang. Right? See, it's printing like that. So this is how you can take out the output of any of the single items you want. Let me write it. Output for any single thing. So this is what, how can we do that? Now, here comes things that ordered or unordered. So as I told you earlier that the before Python 3.7 versions, all the dictionaries was unordered, right? But after 3.7, all the dictionaries became ordered. Like the values which is will be having will be ordered, and the dictionaries are changeable. That means we can change the items after being even after when the dictionary has been created, right? Now, let me show you one thing that dictionary does not allow duplicate. Like here, suppose I again wrote year, and if I gives it a value, something like 1965. And now if I will just print my dictionary, let's see what it happens here. Yeah, you can see it is just showing the one single value that is 1965. Because what has happened here, it has overwrite this statement. Now this 1964 has been gone. Now we can also check the length of our dictionaries by using the len That is, we'll print my dictionary. Firstly, we'll write len, and inside len, I'll write my dictionary. So this will tell me the length of my dictionary, that is 3, because it has 3 items, first, second, and third. This both will be, obviously, it will be taking it as a single digit. Remove this from here, so I'll give it a 1964. So it has 3 values, right? Still, let me show you. Yeah, it still says that it has 3 values, right? Similarly, here comes one more thing, that dictionary can also have different types of data types as well, right? It can also have strings, booleans, and integers, as I showed you. That, see, this one is string, this one is integer. Like if I will remove it right now, let me just do one thing. We'll write print, we'll write print, inside print, we'll write type, inside type, I'll write suppose yes. See, it says, what it says here, that right now it is string because we have included the quotes over here. But by chance, if I remove the quote and if I runs it again, now you can see it is showing that the particular type of this particular item is integer, right? Now you can add one more thing, is we can add boolean value as well. Exists. Does this car exist right now? So here we can add true or something like that. Now let's just do one thing. Instead of here, I'll write exists, and let's check it. It says str, right now, but let me just remove the quotes. Now let's just run it. It will be saying bool. So yeah, you can see that dictionary can also support all the 3 types of data types, that is integer, string, and boolean, right? Now here is typecasting that I recently showed you, that we can get to know the type of data types which is inside of it, right? Now moving on further, let's understand how can we access items, right? You can access items of a dictionary by referring to its key name inside the square bracket, as I have just did it right here, right? If you want to access any of the data items or dictionary items, you can just do it by that. Now you can do one more thing as well, that is get keys. So what is get keys? The get keys method will return all the keys which is there in the dictionaries. Like for example, let me write here x equals to this, x equals to my dictionary dot keys. Okay, fine. Now what I will do here is I will print. Now let's just run the code. What it says error. It has no attribute keys. Did you mean keys? Yeah, we mean keys. We have to write s, and we'll run it. Now let's just print it. Let me run it again. Yeah, so here you can see it, that the dictionary keys has the dictionary has basically 4 keys. That is brand, model, year, and exists, right? And it clearly shows that. So this is how you can get the keys, or I mean you can get the keys of any single dictionaries, and similarly you could have got the items as well. Let me just try it. For that, what we can do here is we can write y equals to get dictionaries dot values, my dictionary dot values. Now if I print here y, you will get just the values which is there. Now let's just print it. You can see dict value says Ford Mustang 1964 untrue. That means our dictionary was containing these particular values. This is how you can get the items, or you can access keys and items or values in our particular dictionaries, right? Now we can do one more thing, is we can write here as my dictionaries dot items. This will do what, this method will return each items in the dictionary as tuples in a list. You can see it right here. So now let's just do one thing. We have already understood that what is dictionaries. We have understood how can we get the access of items. Now let's just do one thing. Let's just do little bit of changes, okay, in our dictionaries. So for that, let's do one thing. We have already defined y equals to this. Now we will write it here. My dictionaries. Inside of my dictionaries, what I will write here is as I will write firstly the values. That is, suppose I want the color. Let's just keep it a color attribute. Inside color attribute, firstly we'll use the square brackets. Okay. We will write color. Inside color, we'll give it anything which we want. Like suppose I want the color should be blue. Now what I will do here is I will just print y. Let's just run it. Yeah, so now you can see it that the values which we were having, now it has been incremented. Now we have attached one more value, that is blue, which is basically a color which we wanted to give, right? So this is how you can add items as well, right? Okay. Now moving on further, let's understand one more important thing, that we can check whether the key exists or not, right? Like we did in list, right? When we were where we were checking the things. Now what we can do here is we will put a condition right here. Suppose I want to run a condition. Let me just zoom in for you guys. I can write here as if model. Suppose I want to search the keys name model is there in my dictionaries. Then I have to do what? Then I have to print. Then I have to print it right here. And I have to print something that is the key name model existed in the key name model existed in the dictionary. Okay. So I have wrote yes this thing. Now let's just run it and see whether it gives us the output or not. And we can write an else statement as well. Else print model is not existed. Okay. Now let's just run the code and see what it basically it's us giving us. So it says that the key name model existed in the dictionary, or I should change it like exists in the dictionary. Yeah. So now it says that the key name model exists in the dictionary, which is true because yeah, it exists in the dictionary, right? So this is how you can do this. Now let's understand how can we change the values, right? Recently you saw that if you will write the same thing here, it will overwrite. But we doesn't want to overwrite the thing. We want that it should be changed completely, right? So for that, let's just do one thing. Suppose I want that my dictionary, inside my dictionary, there is suppose a year. Okay, I want that year should be changed to 2021 because recently they launched a new model. So I am denoting the new model which they have launched. Okay, so now let's just run it. Basically, I forgot to print. I forgot to enter the print statement, and here we'll just close it. Now let's just run it. So yeah, you can see that what has happened here. They have changed, or you can say they have updated the values to 2021. This is how you can change the values in a dictionary. There is one more thing which you can do here is by simply using update function. Okay, so what I will write here is my dictionary dot update year to 2021. Now let's just print it. What it says that in line 993 dictionary update built-in function or method object does not support item assignment. Okay, so now what exactly it's saying? It's saying that the way I have said it to update, it is not assigned or it does not exist. So to do that, what I have to write here is I have to use I have to use normal brackets like this. Then inside that I have to use curly brackets. Then inside curly brackets I have to write the values like this. So this is now if I will write it and if I will run it, now it will accept it. Let me just run it again. Yeah, you can see that now value has been changed to 2021, right? So this is how you can change items. Now we can add one more thing is we can add items that I recently told you, but still let me just help you out with that. What I will do here is I will put like this. Then instead of writing update over here, I will just add. I will use a square bracket. Inside that, I will use color. I want that it should be having a nice color. So I'll write color should be red. Okay. Now let's just print it. So you can see whenever I will print it, it has got a new keys and value that is color and it values it red. This is how you can add values. And similarly, you can do that update function as well. Now here comes one thing that is called remove. Removing, there are several methods to remove any items from the dictionary. Okay, the common one is, we just do like this, and the common one should be delete. Yeah, delete is also there. Like del will write del. Inside del will write my dictionary, and inside my dictionary will use a square bracket, and I want that exist should be gone. Now let's just do one thing. We'll print it, copy this up right here, and we'll paste it. And now let's just run it. So you can say that the existing thing which was here, it has went. And you will be noticing that the color also has gone, right? Why exactly has happened? So what it happened here is it has deleted every single element which was present after exists. So like after exist, it was having a color as well. But yeah, sorry, it was not having color because I have you can see commented out the code. It was just having the four values, so it has deleted the specified one. Yeah, I also got sort of confused. Yeah, so it does not have like that, right? Okay, so by chance if I write it like this, if I just write it like that, then will print. Then what you guys think should will happen? Basically, what will happen? It will throw an error because what it did. Firstly, we have written this command. This command will delete our whole dictionary, and if we will even try to print that later, it will be saying that there is no such thing called my dictionary, right? So it has did like that. Now there is one more thing by which you can delete it is by using clear. I can write my dictionary dot clear. I can write my dictionary dot clear. Now let's just print my dictionary. It will give us the empty brackets and the values which was there inside of it has been deleted. So this is how we can delete and things like that. Now there is one more thing called loops. So for that we can just write it like that. We'll just comment it out. Here, suppose how to add loops. What we will do here is we'll post it like my dictionary that for x in my dictionaries print x. This is what our code is all about. So it says brand model year exists. It has printed all the, it has basically printed all the keys, right? Yeah. Now there are many things by which there are many kinds of loops that you can apply it, like many types by which you can apply a loop. That is suppose if you want any values to be printed, so what you can do is you can go it like here. You can print my dictionaries, and inside the square bracket it will be putting the values. Now you will be getting the values, like let's just run it. You will be getting Ford, Mustang, 1964 and true. This is how you can put loops inside of it, right? Same thing you can do with values as well. Like suppose I remove this, and here if I write dot values and I close the bracket. So what it says for x in my dictionaries dot values, whatever values are there, print my dictionaries. See, so what has happened? It has printed our dictionary four times because it was having four values, right? Same thing we can write it here by one more thing called for x in my dictionaries. Instead of this, you can write keys as well. So it will happen. It will again put it 4 times. So these are all the basic things that you guys can do, and you guys can be putting on, right? Uh, let's just finish it out with one single more function in my dictionaries for x comma y. For x comma y in my dictionaries, and inside dictionaries I will select items. Then I will write this particular print statement like this indentation, and I'll write what x comma y. We'll just comment it out. What I have written here is I have written for x and y we have defined two variables, that is x and y, and in x and y, that is items. Items has two things, like as I told you, keys and values. So now the values will be printed like car, brand Ford, model Mustang, year 1964, and exists true. This is how you can add loops as well in our dictionaries. So this was all about dictionaries, right? When we will be doing further more code, we will be understanding few more types, like how can we copy dictionaries and how can we do nested dictionaries and the things like that, right? By if I want that, suppose I should be copying some dictionaries, I can do one thing. Like suppose I will create a dictionary, like I have created here a dictionary. This dict, inside this dict, I have written brand Ford, model Mustang, year 1964. Then I have created my dictionary and I have given it DICT, and inside that I have written the old. It will do what? It has created a new dictionary. It has just copied the values of the old dictionary into a new dictionary. So this is how you can do the copy pasting as well. Right. Now there is one last thing that you should be knowing. It's not actually that much necessary, but you should be having the basic knowledge is that how can we make nested dictionaries? So to create a nested dictionaries, you can do what is you can create a dictionary like this. Let me suppose write the heading nested dictionaries, and inside this I'll just paste it like that. So what I have done here is I have created a dictionary. The first dictionary is the first dictionary is child one. Okay, this is child one. It has two values. Then this is the child two, which has these three values, and this is child three. Right now, what I have done here is I have created one more, and you can say one more dictionaries. Inside that dictionaries, I have used the values child 3, child 4, and like that. Now let's just do one thing. Will print, will print my family. Okay, let's run the code. Let me clean it out and again run it. So what has happened here is we have printed my family. So inside child 1, it has three things. Child 1's name is ML. Its year is 2004. Then here comes child 2. Its name is Tobias and its year is 2007. And the child name 3, then it's Linus and 2011. This is how you can create a next nested dictionaries, and you can put two dictionaries inside of one. When we will be making database, it will be little helpful. You can understand this thing, right? And it will be little easy for you to create database like this. See, this is one more good example of nested dictionaries. It what it has done here is instead of writing two times, it has just firstly created a bigger dictionary, that is my family. Here it's end year, and inside it, using indentation, it has created three families or three childs. It will be also giving us the same output as the above one. So this is the two ways of making nested dictionaries, right? I hope you understood the concept of dictionaries, how to add files, how to remove something, or how can you copy, and how can you use loops in dictionaries, and how can you use nested dictionaries. If you understood, then yeah, do hit a like button. And if you really have any doubts, then do comment out and I will be helping you out with the doubts. Now, let's just come to a topic that we have already covered many times, but just to make your revision, we'll cover it. That is a function. Okay. So now what exactly is a function? A function is a block of code which runs only when it's called. Like for example, if I calls any of the function, until and unless I'm not calling it, it will not run. You can pass data known as parameters into the function. A function can return data in the form of result, right? Now, if we want to create any sort of function, we have to define it using our def keyword, that is define. Now in this, suppose I defines a function called main, right? Inside this function, suppose I prints anything, like I prints hello world. Yeah. Suppose if I printed hello world. So this is what a function. Let me run the code. It see here you can see it has not printed a single thing also. Why like that? Because I have till now didn't called my function. I have just wrote it. If I will call it in the near future, then it will run. Like suppose I calls my function main. As soon as I will call my function, it will immediately run it. Here you can see. When I run this time, it has run the code. So this is what a function is all about. You just have to understand two things, that a function is made using a def keyword, right? And it will not execute until and unless a function is called, right? Now let's understand what are arguments. So that information that can be passed into a function as a form of arguments, right? Arguments are specified after the function name or inside the parameters, and you can simply add any sort of arguments as you want, right? Now, for example, let me just do one thing. Let's create a heading like functions we are studying, right? Now, what? Let's do one thing. Let's understand what are arguments, right? So, we will be just learning a little bit about arguments because in the upcoming video, that is the next one, we will be understanding about the args and quarks. That is basically an arguments, and that see the short form. It's the short form of arbitrary arguments and keyword arguments. That is quark. So we will be understanding about these things as well. It's just to understand functions, we should be knowing a little bit about arguments. So we are telling it like that, right? Like for example, let me just call a function, right? I have called a function. See here, I have defined a function that's name is fname, right? And it says print fname, and then it says refnses, something like that, right? You just don't function don't pay attention on the code, just see what here I have written. So what it is, it just has one argument, that is fname, right? We have given it an argument inside these brackets, right? This is particular argument. When a function is called, we pass along the first name, right? Let me just run it and show what it will be editing, right? It does what, that whatever we are calling is as first name in the function, whatever first name we will be entering, it will just plus this. Let me just change it. Like it will, what it will do here is it will add fname plus refresh. That means what you will get is email refresh, Tobias refresh, and Linus refresh. This is what an argument is all about, right? It's just it will be giving you some sort of functions that you have to keep in your mind while writing a function, right? So this is what an argument is all about. I hope you have understood the basis of function, that how a function is written, what is the basic role of functions. Don't worry, we will be dealing with this in the next video, because that is also important. In that video, we will be understanding about args and quarks, that is keyword arguments and arbitrary arguments, right? And for this was all about for this video. I hope you have understood the concepts. If you really like this video, then do like, share, subscribe to the channel, share the videos with your friends who really wants to understand Django and want to learn Python as well, right? And before stopping the video, let me just show you once more about this website of Geeks for Geeks, in which you can get all the free courses as well as the premium courses. These courses are made by company professionals, so if you are interested, then you guys can really check it out. Like, you can just go on explore here and you can check all the amazing stuff that is there inside the course. Some of them are absolutely free. I would really say all of you to at least check it out because it is really helpful and it will make your skills really, really better. Right? So this was all about it for today's video. And I'll see you in another one with some exciting topics. Till then, see you. Have a great day. Bye bye.